The OAA Red Title is on the line tonight as the Clarkston Wolves come in to take on the Lake Orion Dragons. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Jack Diedrich, and this is for the Apples, the OAA Red Title. The Dragons come in with a record in the OAA Red of 11-2, 22-8 overall, while Clarkston comes in at 8-4 in the OAA Red, 9-4-1 overall. And Jack, I guess from talking to Coach Schrammick before the game, if you got to put the Dragons season into a word, it's been consistency.
It's been very consistent, you know, and it's not just this year, it's been for the last several years. Each year they just put out another great team after great team, and this year is no exception.
The Dragons starting pitching has probably been better than what people had anticipated. It's been the 1-2 punch of Brad Schaenzer, who we'll see tonight, and junior Nick Deeg, and they've just been over and above anyone's anticipations.
Of course, if anybody caught our last broadcast, I brought it up about how some people refer to Schaenzer and Deeg as 1-1A pitchers. I don't even go that far. I'd just say they're 1-1. There's really no clear-cut better pitcher. They're both just phenomenal. They've got great stuff and great control. Standings
in the OAA Red, Lake Orion is in first place, as we said, with a record of 11-2. Clarkston 2.5 games back at 8-4. Rochester Stony Creek is in third with an 8-5 record, 3 games back. Rochester Adams is at 4-9 overall, 7 games back, along with Rochester, who's at 3-8-1, and Oxford is 3-9-1, 7.5 games back. You know, it just seemed like this baseball season just started, and here they've only got 2 regular season games left till they start the state playoffs.
You know, it's been a quick, but it's also been a fantastic season for the Dragons. I mean, even in the standings, you've had the Dragons, Clarkston, and Stony Creek all at the very top. Stony Creek's kind of fallen out a little bit. They're not all totally out of it yet, but they lost a big game a couple weeks ago to Lake Orion, and they haven't really recovered fully yet, and Lake Orion's just kind of pulled away a little bit, and it only needs 1 win today to clinch the OAA Red Division.
This is the time that you want your team to peak. You got 2 games left, then you go into the state tournament, and anything can happen in the state tournament. The ultimate is to get to Battle Creek the 3rd week of June. As we said, we got a dandy. It's for first place in the OAA Red. We've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
Just getting ready for the start of Game 1 of this big doubleheader between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Clarkston Wolves. Before we get started, we will remind you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377. For just $10, you can have a copy of not only this game, but any game in our programming vault. That's DVD copies from ONTV, 248-693-3377. Call today. We went over the OAA Red standings, Jack, and I guess what kind of stands out is it's almost been the 2-horse race, Lake Orion and Clarkston. There really haven't been a lot of other serious contenders for the OAA crown.
Yeah, like I said before, Stony Creek, they were in it, fell off a little bit. They're still, I guess, in it, but, you know, Lake Orion's almost got this locked up. 1 win today, and they will have it locked up. And this is a big game for Andy Schrammick's crew.
That's what we were talking to one of the Clarkston assistant coaches just before we started here, and that's what he said. He says that the pressure's really on them to try to take both halves of this twin bill today, because then they end up with the OAA Red Crown. And you know, we're used to having, no matter what it's in, if it's in baseball, football, basketball, probably bowling and equestrian, it always seems to come down to Lake Orion and Clarkston.
Yeah, you know, in Oakland County, there are a couple of the best athletic schools, and again, they don't disappoint this year, as they rarely ever do.
Dragons just finishing up infield practice, and it won't be long, and we'll get the first game of this doubleheader underway. Till then, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. You're watching Orion Neighborhood Television's exclusive coverage of Dragon Athletics. Stay with us.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Just about ready to get underway here in this first game of a twin bill between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Clarkston Wolves. The respective head coaches, Andy Schrammick for Lake Orion and Paul Price for Clarkston, out exchanging lineup cards with the umpires. Head coach Paul Price is in his 13th season at Clarkston. And our home plate umpire tonight is John DeBias. Larry Pierce is the infield umpire, and the Dragons take the field. And to bring you the play-by-play, here's Jack Dietrich.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jack Dietrich, bringing you Lake Orion varsity baseball.
Dragons in their home greens. We were commenting earlier, it's kind of unusual to see the home team wearing a dark uniform and the visitors come in all white.
Yeah, that is pretty unusual, but I guess that's how we're going to do it today.
That's well. Lake Orion will wear a whole bunch of different uniforms. You'll see them in black. You'll see them in green, and every once in a while they'll put on home whites.
Yep. So, getting his warm-up tosses is Brad Schaenzer. Roman Kuster is the catcher today. At first base, we have Nick Deeg. At second, we have Lambrecht. At third base, we have Gardner. At shortstop, Nick Vogelmeyer. In left field, we have Grant. In center, we have Ovison. And in right field, we have Josh Bays. Yep. So stepping into the box for Clarkston is Mazzone. Nicholas Mazzone.
Nicholas Mazzone.
Steps into the box, takes a look over at his third base coach, and we are ready to get underway. So here comes the first pitch from Schaenzer, and it is outside for a ball. 1-0. 70 degrees here at game time. The pitch is a called strike in the inside corner.
Dragons crowding in a little bit, looking for the bunt on the third base side.
Swing and a miss, and it is quickly 1-2.
Good fastball by Schaenzer.
He never disappoints with his fastball. So the windup and the pitch, and it is just outside. So running the count even at 2-2. Just underway here in Lake Orion.
Outfield shade a little bit to right on him.
Foul ball, so keep the count at 2-2.
Get a microphone up here. It's causing us a lot of wind noise.
And just outside again, so after the curveball ran away from Schaenzer a little bit, it is now a full count on the leadoff man, Nicholas Mazzone. And outside. So he got him 1 and 2 to start the at bat, but then fell behind and walked him on three straight pitches. It's a mouthful for me.
Easy for you to say.
So it'll bring up Forston. The pitch shows bunt quickly, but pulls it back.
Couldn't get a lot of information on Clarkston before the game started, so we have to assume that their leadoff batter's got some pretty good speed. Throw down to first, and Mazzone back in safely.
The pitch, and it's a called strike, so run the count 2-1 on all 3 pitches to start this at bat. Forston has shown bunt, but pulled it back. He's never really gone into a full bunt, just kind of moved the bat a little bit. The pitch, and he lays down the bunt, fair. Schaenzer picks it up, throw over to first, and that is the first out. It will move Mazzone to second on the sac bunt.
Clarkston, Dylan Peck.
And that'll bring up Dylan Peck for Clarkston, the number 3 hitter. Runner in scoring position for Clarkston, and 1 away. Schaenzer comes set. He delivers, and it is a ball, high and outside. The pitch is grounded up the middle, fielded by Schaenzer. He throws to third, and he is safe.
Boy, I think there he should have gone to first and gotten the easy out. He looked and thought he had a chance to get the runner, but he just got in under the tag. You get the runner at first, you have 2 out.
Yeah, so we're getting a pinch runner at second. It appears to be
Number 32.
Eltpeter.
Zach
So
Eltpeter.
Zachary Eltpeter will pinch run for Peck, and that'll bring up Ray. High and outside again. A little bit of control issues for Brad Schaenzer. We saw that in his last start, though he recovered in the second. Pitch, swing and a miss. So 1-1 here on Ray. The pitch, swing and fouled off.
I think that caught Kuster kind of right in the mask. He kind of winced a little bit as he went after that.
Roman Kuster's the catcher. He's actually pretty tall for a catcher. He stands at 6'5", fairly unusual. The pitch is inside and in the dirt. Kuster makes a nice block to save a run, and it is even at 2-2.
You're 6'5". There's only a few places you're comfortable playing. One's first base, the other's pitching, and maybe in the outfield.
Called strike 3, and Ray is out on strikes. So a big strikeout there when you definitely needed one, and now it's runners at first and third for Ryan Slaughter, and 2 away. Schaenzer comes set. The pitch, swing and a line drive up the middle. This is going to get down, and it's going to score run. Mazzone scores. Stopping at second is Peck, and Slaughter has a big hit to give the Clarkston Wolves the early lead.
Number 2, Alex Peck.
So now that'll bring up Alex Peck. First pitch swinging by Slaughter was just a rocket up the middle. And also first pitch swinging is Peck, and he swings and misses for the first strike. The pitch, swing and a miss. So quickly 0-2. Schaenzer trying to strand runners at first and second with only limited damage. It's currently 1-0 in favor of the Clarkston Wolves in the top of the first. The pitch is outside, try to get him to chase, but he was not going to fall for it. Martin's on deck. Pickoff throw to second, and did they get him? They got him!
They got him.
So a big pickoff play, and that's going to end the inning. At the end of the top of the first, it's 1-0 in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. We'll be right back.
Did you know that you can watch ON TV on the web? How cool is that? Just surf on over to www.orionontv.org to watch your favorite on TV show. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television.
Has been your community connection for the last 20 years. From local concerts and sports to resident-made original programming, we are the voice of Lake Orion. Featuring a large professional studio, ONTV can provide you with the tools you need to make a quality program. Our staff is knowledgeable, friendly, and eager to help with your program success. Your voice, your community, on TV.
Can ONTV really be a part of Orion's history? Can a 100-year-old school be moved and preserved?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986.
Be sure to get into your replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide at our webpage at orionontv.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Kind of a shaky first inning for Brad to start this. Walked the first guy, a questionable play going to third on, for the fielder's choice when he could have had the easy out at first. He recovered it nicely with only minimal damage, 1 run on 1 hit.
Yeah, we saw that in his last start as well, where he had a little control problems in the very first. He came back, settled down in the second, but struggled a little bit there on out. But I don't expect that today. I expect a really good pitched game. Let's take a look at how the Wolves line up defensively real quick. The pitcher is Peck. The catcher is also Peck.
The shortstop,
Got 2 Pecks for them. The first baseman is Ray. Second baseman Martins. The third baseman is Slaughter. The shortstop is Forston. In left field we have Cox. In center we have Mazzone, the leadoff hitter, and the right fielder would be Laporte. So Nick Vogelmeyer steps in. He's the first batter for the Lake Orion Dragons.
Peck, not an overly big guy. Nick Vogelmeyer is the kind of guy you want as a leadoff hitter. Contact hitter, spreads the ball around.
He goes the opposite way as well as anyone. The first pitch is a called strike. Looked to be a slider, and it's quickly 0-1 on Nick Vogelmeyer. The 0-1 delivery is also a called strike, a fastball that painted the outside low corner.
Right at the knees and on the outside part of the plate.
It's a great pitch, and
umpires
will give it to you.
You'll get a lot of people out that way.
Just outside, very close to where it was on the previous pitch. It is 1-2 now on Nick Vogelmeyer. Peck's ready and delivers. Swing and a fly ball to the left fielder who will make the catch, and there is 1 away for Lambrecht.
Your second baseman, Ryan Lambrecht.
Ryan Lambrecht is the second baseman today.
Coach Schrammick puts a lot of left-handed batters in there. He's going to say, look, if it's hard to find a lot of good left-handed pitchers. If you got them, throw them at us. But we're going to sit here and throw left-handed batters at you all day long.
Yep, and some great players for the Dragons are left-handed. You get a extra step to first when you're left-handed as opposed to a right-handed batter. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It appeared to be a curveball that fell into the dirt. It is now 1-1. Nick Deegs on deck. He's the first baseman today. The pitch is low. So run the count to 2-1.
Peck is very deliberate in his windup. There's not a lot of quick motion with him. He takes his time, gets ready, and he's very deliberate in his windup.
Swing and a ground ball that will roll foul.
Nice pickup by Coach Schrammick.
Yeah, our last broadcast, we saw both third base coaches try and pick up the ball, and it was a cold and windy day, so both of them were shaking their hands afterwards.
That's why all these guys out there have gloves on their hands.
The pitch is a line drive to the second baseman. It gets right under his glove, so put a runner at first for Nick Deeg.
That kind of handcuffed the second baseman. He didn't know whether to charge it. He actually let the ball play him.
Now for the Dragons, Nick Deeg.
Number 24, Sean Martins.
That'll bring up Nick Deeg, the first baseman for the Dragons. Ryan Lambrecht is on first after the single. Lambrecht's got a little bit of speed, pickoff throw, and he is back in time. You see Rec Nagel, the first base coach. He's timing out the pitcher to see if when would be a good time to get a jump. The pitch is a called strike on Deeg.
Off-speed pitch. Good changeup.
Pickoff throw and is not in time.
Coach Denny Recknagel's been here a long time. He's been here about as long as Coach Schrammick has. A lot of good work with these young guys.
Pop up. Third baseman's going out to get it, as well as the shortstop. Shortstop's under it, and he makes the catch. Lambrecht will retreat back to first, and there are two away for Roman Kuster.
Now for the Dragons, Roman Kuster.
Roman Kuster is the catcher today. He's a junior. This is his third year on the varsity team. As we said last inning, he's very tall for a catcher. As we see a throw back to first that is not in time. They're really worried about Lambrecht over there. Standing 6'5" is Roman Kuster. The pitch is lined up the middle. Center fielder under it. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it. So at the end of one full inning of play, we have a score of 1-0 in favor of Clarkston. We'll be right back here with varsity baseball on ONTV.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you, and this is your community. You have a great idea, but how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
We're back here in Lake Orion with our presentation of varsity baseball. The Dragons are out. The Dragons are down 1-0 here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up Alex Peck. He's the starting pitcher for Clarkston today.
Yeah, Alex was on at bat when they picked Altpeter off at the end of the first.
So the first pitch from Schaenzer is fouled off. Looks to be on the JV field.
Yeah, we were noticing that a couple of games that you get those pop fouls off to the right. You got JV players heading for cover because those things come over without a lot of warning.
Swing and a miss, so it's quickly 0-2. Yeah, they return the favor, trust me. So the 0-2 pitch is fouled hard off the backstop, just to our right. So the 0-2 pitch tipped.
Foul tip.
Kuster was not able to hold on to it, so that'll keep Alex Peck alive. I'm seeing that Schaenzer is coming out, and he's throwing more strikes than he was in the first inning. I know we've only seen 4 pitches so far, but swing and a miss. So Alex Peck comes out, and Alex Peck sits down as he's out on strikes.
Yeah, good fastball by Schaenzer. You know, after the first inning, you go in, and Coach Ramick just has a little settle down talk with him, and he comes out, and he's throwing nothing but strikes here in the second.
Martin shows bunt, but pulls it back, and it's a called strike. Sean Martins is a sophomore. There's quite a few young players on the Clarkston team. Grounded to the first baseman, Deeg, who bobbles it, picks it up, and has plenty of time to step on the bag as he was almost there. So they throw it around the diamond, and there's 2 away.
Chris Dickey.
Chris Dickey is up. He's the designated hitter today for Clarkston. So the first pitch is lined right back at where if there was no glass and there was no fence,
give us
I'd
credit.
have a concussion.
We didn't flinch. Good off-speed pitch.
So a nice curveball, and once again it's quickly 0-2. I don't think he's thrown a single ball yet this inning. And that was very close. Swing and a miss. So that's going to end the inning. At the end of the top of the second, it is 1-0 Clarkston. We'll be right back on ONTV.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Hey, if you're a fan of sports talk and just plain zaniness, then tune in to Between Terraminas, a different kind of sports talk show. New episodes air Friday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Public Access, Comcast Channel 10, AT&T Uverse Channel 99. Also, check the ONTV program guide at orionontv.org for other air times that best fit your viewing schedule. Here's Jack.
Dalton Novison up, one of the team captains, the other being Jake Gardner. The pitch is a slider called for a strike, ended up right down the middle. Couldn't react though. Alex Peck on the mound. Wind up and the pitch. Alex Peck is the starting pitcher for Clarkston, and his brother Dylan Peck is his battery mate behind the plate. The pitch to Ovison is a ground ball to the second baseman. He picks it up, easy throw over to first, and there is one away. So it's going to bring up the starter, Brad Schaenzer.
You know, there's always been talk about how soon do you start throwing a curveball. You know, some say, you know, by the time they get to high school, they should be able to throw a curve, and we'll pick up on that in a second.
The pitch is, in fact, a curveball that stays high. You know, the thing about the curveball is the big debate is over the arm, because it does take a large toll because you're really snapping your elbow a lot.
Right.
So people debate. As we see the pitch, it is fouled up behind us.
I've always felt that they learned to throw a circle change, and it's a very easy ball to throw. It comes with the same motion as a fastball, but just comes out of there a lot slower. And a lot of times, if you can get that circle change in, you'll get the batters way out in front of you.
The pitch, swinging a fly ball into the gap. The center fielder's running under it, and he will make the catch, and there are two away. And that'll bring up Page, who is the designated hitter today.
Now for the Dragons, Nolan Page.
You know, right now you're seeing pitchers in high school trying to come in with the full arsenal: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, and you know, it's like everything else with high school sports. It's evolving so much.
Line drive caught by the first baseman. Nice play that'll end the inning here. At the end of 2 innings, it's 1-0 in favor of Clarkston. We'll be right back on ONTV's production of high school baseball.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
Video classes are now enrolling. Reserve your seat today. Learn the basics of studio and field production with Hands ONTV staff of video professionals. We offer hands-on instruction in a fun atmosphere. Orion residents pay only $10. Call ONTV to find out more at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060, or visit our webpage at orionontv.org.
Starting the 3rd inning, Jacob Laporte leading off for Clarkston. Shows bunt, drops a bunt down. Schaenzer has it, throws to first. 1 up, 1 down. Start of the 3rd.
Yeah, that was a very nice play by Schaenzer. It looks pretty routine, but you know, it takes some athleticism to quickly get off that mound and throw over to first.
I'll tell you what. Okay, top of the order, Nick Mazzone comes up. He walked, scored a run the 1st inning. Clarkston leads 1-0, top of the 3rd. Schaenzer into his windup. Foul fly off to the right, out of play. Clarkston scored 1 in the 1st. Both teams have 1 hit. Foul tip. You look at the umpire, John Tobias. He likes having a tall catcher like Kuster in front of him. There's a lot of balls that might hit him that he's going to let that catcher take. High pop up. Second baseman's calling for it. He's got it. 2 down.
Yeah, I'm seeing out of Schaenzer that he had that shaky 1st inning where he had a little bit of control problems, but I think he's only thrown 1 ball out of the strike zone since, and we're an inning and a 3rd later.
Jake Forston comes to bat. He had a sacrifice bunt first time up. Strike called on the outside corner. Strike two. 2 quick strikes on Forston. Ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jake Forston.
I notice on Forston that he's a player that keeps his back pockets untucked. Being a very superstitious game, you see players do that.
Slow roller to third. Throw to first. Got him. So, Mr. Schaenzer takes short work of the Wolves. We're going in the bottom half of the third. It's 1-0. We'll be right back.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Going into the bottom of the third inning, Clarkston leads Lake Orion 1-0. And for the Dragons, it's been 1 hit. Clarkston's had 1 hit, and it's all come down to a couple issues in the field, some aggressive base running by Clarkston.
Yeah, you know, it's been a pitching duel of late. Like you said, 1 hit for both teams, and that comes down to great pitches. Both guys are having great control here, great velocity, and
number 12,
it's just been great.
Number 12, Connor Grant, leads off for the Dragons here at the bottom of the third. Right-handed batter, standing even in the box. Ball low. Outfield pretty much even up. Infield back in the middle. Third baseman in about halfway to the bag. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I'm sorry, 1 ball, 1 strike. Peck. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the third.
Alex Peck takes his time a little bit. He's not a very fast worker like we've seen in most high school pitchers.
Slow roller. Oh, and right under the glove of the shortstop, Forston. And Connor Grant, I don't know if they'll call that a hit or an error. It looks like he was waiting for the ball to come up on him, and the ball just stayed underneath.
Yeah, it looks like they've ruled that a hit.
Okay, they ruled a hit, so will we. Jake Gardner up.
Sometimes it can be a little unpredictable on high school fields. You don't know which ones are kept well.
Third baseman bunt down the right side, and it's a good one. Throws to the second baseman, and they got him.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you know, you get used to a poor field, and you think the ball's going to hit a bounce and come up to you, but it just doesn't on a great field. Like, they have a great setup here in Lake Orion.
Nick Vogelmeyer up. He flied out to the left fielder his first time up. Peck's allowed 1 hit, hasn't walked anyone, hasn't struck out anyone. There's a base hit up the middle. Garner goes to third. I think Garner had to wait to see if the second baseman was going to jump and catch that ball, because he kind of went back to second, then saw he could make it to third.
Yeah, with only 1 out, you want to play it safe, because if he catches that ball and you're caught off, all of a sudden the inning would be over, but luckily it got through.
Ryan Lambrick up. He singled his first time up. Runners at first and third, 1 out for the Dragons. Ball low. Throw over to first. Vogelmeyer's back in time. He's not taking a real aggressive lead off first. Ground ball through the hole. That'll get a run in. Gets past the right fielder. Vogelmeyer's going to second. They wave Garner home, and Vogelmeyer ends up on third base. That should be a two-base error on the right fielder.
You know, that's great base running. You hustle, and then, you know, a mistake happens, and all of a sudden, you've got 2 runs on the board, and you've taken the lead. Looks like a meeting on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, I think he's just going to come out and say, okay, settle down. So that scored Garner and Vogelmeyer. Nick Deeg will be up. He flew out to, or he popped out to the shortstop first time up. Ryan Lambrick's 2 for 2 so far. He's having a good game. Dragons take the lead 2-1. Another base hit to right. Here comes Lambrick home, and Deeg has a single.
It's good to see this Dragons offense really starting to take control.
Well, it's a usual thing. You know, you go through the order. The batters kind of get the idea of, you know, what the pitcher's got, and the second time around they could be a lot more aggressive with their swings. Roman Kuster up. He flew out to the center fielder first time up. Off-speed pitch in for a strike.
It's really no coincidence that the offense is taking off at the point of the game that it is. Every batter's gotten a chance to see what this pitcher has. And
sure.
They're coming out swinging.
Ground ball, again, through the hole. Knocked down by the shortstop. And Deeg will have to hold at second. Kuster's on with a single.
Number 11, Dalton Overson.
There's only 1 out in this inning, so there's still plenty of life in the inning.
Dalton Overson grounded out to second his first time up. He's got a chance to drive in another run, maybe 2. 1 out here in the third. Another seeing eye ground ball. Coach Schrammick's going to hold up Deeg at third. Bases are full, 1 out. Dragons have put together 5 hits in this inning, 3 runs, and they're ready for more. Brad Schaenzer's up. He flew out to center his first time up. Another hot shot down the left field line. Cut off to the right fielder. 1 run's in. Here comes 2 runs. And they've got, they had Overson in a rundown and caught him, but 2 more runs are in.
And that was aggressive base running by the batter there, Brad Schaenzer. He noticed the pickle, and he was able to scoot over to second base and make it in just before the throw.
Yeah. So 2 out here in the third. Dragons have 5 runs in on 6 hits in this inning alone. Number 20, Nolan Page, is in. And they foul back out of play. Dan Hunter is in running for Schaenzer. He's on second base with 2 out. Ball outside.
Running for Schaenzer, Dan Hunter.
Pitch outside.
Two balls, one strike, two out here in the third.
You see the outfield shifted a little to the right here, expecting him to pull the ball.
Right hand, the right fielder pretty much in position. It's not really a shift. The left fielder plays a little more over to left center. Center fielder's pretty much straight up. Tell you what, he hits anything down the left field line, he can run for the rest of the day. Another base hit. Just dropped between the throw to the plate, and they got him. They got Hunter trying to score from second. Good relay from the second baseman into the catcher. So the Dragons score 5. And at the end of 3, it's Lake Orion 5, Clarkston 1. We'll be right back.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you, and this is your community. You have a great idea, but how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
We want to remind you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. That's DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060.
Dylan Peck leads off the fourth for Clarkston. He was safe on a fielder's choice in the first. Schaenzer's back out there pitching. Fly ball, center fielder under it, comes in a step, makes the catch, one down on one pitch here in the fourth.
Ryan Ray.
Overson had a beat on that one all the way. That'll bring up Kyle Ray. He struck out his first time up. Takes a called strike. Way outside. I think that one kind of got away from Brad a little bit. Schaenzer's walked one, struck out 3. Fly ball, center field. Overson a little to his left, makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down here in the fourth.
And this is the Brad Schaenzer we've been seeing all season. You know, he attacks the strike zone, he works to contact if need be, and he gets hitters out. And that's all you can ask for.
Early in the year, he had a 17 strikeout outing.
Yeah, that shattered the record held in Lake Orion.
Ball low.
I believe the previous was 15.
To number 20, Ryan Slaughter.
Ryan
Foul back
Slaughter.
out of play.
You can hear the Clarkston bench really rooting on Slaughter.
Well, they need to get some runs scored. They, talking to the coaches before the game, they know what's on the line here. And they can't afford to let Lake Orion get a real big lead on them going into the later innings of this game.
Exactly. I mean, they had Lake Orion had a 5-run inning. You can't let that grow.
And Slaughter draws a walk on a full 3-2 count. So 1 on, 2 out here in the 4th. Alex Peck will be up, the pitcher. He struck out his last time up. Called strike 1.
I believe that was Schaenzer's first walk since the first batter of the ball game.
It was. Second walk given up by him today. Fly ball to right field. Coming in. Can't make the catch. Number 24, Josh Bays, got under it and slid and just came out of his glove. That may be an error on the right fielder. So 2 men on. Man on third, man on first. 2 out. Pinch runner coming in for Peck. Number
courtesy running, DJ Zazula.
Donovan Zazula in. He's a freshman running for Peck.
Yeah, he's the only freshman on either team on the varsity staff today.
Inside, 1 ball. Best thing for the pitcher now, you got 2 outs. Just forget about the base runners. Concentrate on getting the batter out now. Just off the glove of the second baseman. And that gets a run in. Still runners on first and third with 2 out. Now it's 5-2 game.
Yeah, that was a very nicely placed hit. You know, it's a game of inches. An inch to the left, and, you know, that's the inning's over, but it got through.
Ryan Landberg just had that go off his glove, and again, did they score that a hit or an error? Hit? Okay, they're calling it a hit. So will we. Nice off-speed pitch in for a strike to number 5, Chris Dickey, who also struck out in the second inning.
Is that for 2 hits or is that the second hit?
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Potential tying run is at the plate. Foul tip. Still remains 0-2. They're showing Clarkston 2 runs on 2 hits. Inside. And they're calling it a strike, and he throws to first to complete the strikeout. We've finished 4 here. Dragons up 5-2. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Athletics here on ONTV. We'll be right back.
Did you know that you can watch ONTV on the web? How cool is that? Just surf on over to www.orionontv.org to watch your favorite on-TV show. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television.
Has been your community connection for the last 20 years. From local concerts and sports to resident-made original programming, we are the voice of Lake Orion. Featuring a large professional studio, ONTV can provide you with the tools you need to make a quality program. Our staff is knowledgeable, friendly, and eager to help with your program success. Your voice, your community, on TV.
Can ONTV really be a part of Orion's history? Can a 100-year-old school be moved and preserved?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986.
Dragons come up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a 5-2 ball game. Dragons in the lead. Dragons 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Clarkston 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error.
Now batting for Lake Orion, number 12, Connor Grant.
Connor Grant leads off for the Dragons here in the fourth. Connor had a single his first time up. Back into his windup, right down the middle for strike 1. Off-speed pitch outside.
That was a nice curveball. It just kind of broke down at the 12-6.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Way outside, gets past the catcher, back to the screen.
Looks like that probably got stuck in Peck's hands a little too long.
Yeah, either that or he overthrew it. It was pretty ugly.
Yeah, that wasn't close.
Foul down the third base line. Talking to both coaches before the game, and Coach Schrammick especially says he likes where his team is at because he thinks that they can just peak at their last 2 games and then go into the state playoffs with a full head of steam. Foul back. Then talking to Coach Drollis for Clarkston before the game, and he says, look, we know what's involved here. We're looking at the OAA Red first. We go in with a division title, and the playoffs will take care of themselves. Fly ball, right field, and caught 1 down.
And also, they brought up that if Lake Orion wins 1 game today, it's a doubleheader. We'll only have the first game, though, on ONTV. But if Lake Orion wins 1 game, they've taken first place.
They've got the title. They've got the title.
There's a lot on the line for second place Clarkston.
The great thing about baseball, it's like basketball. Every team qualifies for the state playoffs. Number 6, Jake Garner, up for the second time. He had a sacrifice first time up and then scored a run. Ball high.
We saw him back out a little bit. The thing about that curveball is that out of the hand, it looks like it's coming right at you, but it breaks down right into the strike zone. It's a really tough pitch to hit.
Believe me, curveballs like that have ruined more than one career. Not from the fact that they hit them, just the fact that you're thinking, and you do. You end up backing out, and next thing you know, you're playing football. Ball low. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Dragons up 5-2. Base is empty. Fastball outside. He walked him. That's first walk given up by Peck today.
Number 2, shortstop Nick Vogelmeyer.
Nick Vogelmeyer, we've talked about it earlier in the broadcast about he is, for high school baseball, he's the premier leadoff guy. I mean, he gets nice hits, spreads it around the field, and
he's everything you want in a leadoff guy. Good speed, great hands, and as we said earlier, puts the ball in play. Ball or strike called on the outside corner.
Another thing that goes a little overlooked in a first leadoff batter is Nick Vogelmeyer is very good at working the count. He allows his teammates to see what the pitcher's got before they come up.
Base hit into center field. Garner stops at second. Nick Vogelmeyer's 2 for 3 today.
That's something that we're very used to seeing. Multi-hit games
Ryan Lambert
for Vogelmeyer.
Ryan Lambrick's 2 for 2 today. Single in the first, single in the second, took second on an error by the right fielder. So he's got a chance to drive some runs in. Coach is coming out for Clarkston. And I think we're going to have a pitching change.
Alexander Barta is coming into the game. He's going to take over on the mound.
Alexander Barta's the senior big guy.
Pitching change. Number 41, Alex Barta on the bump.
Actually, maybe not. We were mistaken. Alex Barta is going to take over at first base.
Barta goes to first base, and number
Ryan
3,
Ray,
Ryan Ray, takes over on the mound.
Sophomore for Clarkston.
That's what we get for anticipating.
Correction, Ryan Rear on the bump.
Boy, this great chart I had for charting what happens today is just in tatters. Left-hander, Brian Ray in to pitch. He doesn't look as deliberate as Peck was. He grabs it and throws it.
Something you're used to seeing out of a typical reliever is that they grab the ball.
Give me the ball and let me throw it. Absolutely.
They don't have to worry about going multiple innings, so they can just take it, throw it as hard as they can. That's why you see a big spike in velocity when the starter leaves
The 2 spot for
and the
Orion.
reliever comes in.
So runners on first and second for the Dragons. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Ryan Lambrick up to bat. He's had 2 singles today. Outfield pretty much straight up. Inside.
That was the curveball we were talking about when Peck was on the mound, how
And
it just
if
comes in, but that one really didn't break back over the plate. So it's a good thing he ducked.
Runner goes, throw to third, and safe. Double steal by the Dragons.
That was a really good throw by the catcher, Peck. He just grabbed it, catch, release, and he really made that play close.
Garner got a great jump off second base. Once the throw went to third, Nick Vogelmeyer could have walked to second. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Inside again.
Three 3-0 on Lambrick.
Nick Deeg waiting on deck for Lake Orion.
We talked about how Vogelmeyer's a good leadoff guy. Lambrick's a great number 2 guy.
Strike called on the outside part of the plate.
He has some speed. He also can spray the ball over the place. But he's left-handed, and it makes it nice when Vogelmeyer's on first that he can pull the ball, and it's easier for Vogelmeyer to make it all the way to third on just a single.
Strike on the outside part of the plate, 3-2. Fly ball. Right center field. Center fielder's under it. Dig tags. Here he comes, and safe. Vogelmeyer moves to third. Good sacrifice fly.
So, yeah, Jake Gardner scored right there.
Lake Orion, number 25.
And, you know, it's just the small things that help you win ball games, and just a nice fly ball is all they needed, and now they've got a 4-run lead.
Nick Deeg flew to, or popped to short his first time up. Singled is in the third. 2 out.
Deeg's a big guy. He stands at 6'6", and he's got some power in his bat.
Fly ball, left field. Left fielder's got it. That's the end of the half inning. Dragons score 1. At the end of 4, Lake Orion 6, Clarkston 2. We'll be right back.
At the end of 4, Lake Orion 6, Clarkston.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
ONTV has moved. We're up and running at our new location at 1349 Joslin Road, just south of Clarkston Road. The new facility up and running at 100%, and we encourage all of our viewers to stop over and see our new studio and editing space. We are open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. ONTV is your community television station. For more information about ONTV, call 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060 today.
Jacob Laporte up, swings at the first pitch, takes a ball inside, 1-1 here in the top of the fifth. Ball low.
That must have hit the plate or
I
something.
think it did hit the plate because it took a pretty funny bounce.
We saw that in the last game too. I'm not sure what it hit, but I'm assuming the plate, but that thing just flew way up.
John Tobias is a home plate umpire. Larry Pierce is the infield umpire today. Ball outside, 3-1 to Laporte here in the top of the fifth. Ball four walked him. So the leadoff batter's on here in the fifth. Third walk given up by Schaenzer to go along with 3 strikeouts.
And while you're speaking of the umpires, we should really say how grateful high school sports are for the umpires. It's kind of a thankless job at times, but they do a great job at it.
Bunt down to third base line, goes foul, strike one. Laporte to go back to first. Yeah, these guys do it for very little money, and it's mostly because they love the game that they do. And you find some will do football and basketball, some do basketball and baseball. Talking to John Tobias, he's a hockey official along with a baseball umpire.
It's their way of giving back to the community, and
It's
we're really grateful for it.
It's a way to stay involved too. I mean, you know. Fly ball, left field. One down. Fly out to Connor Grant. Thank you very much. I had my 1s and 7s mixed up on my score sheet here. That brings up Jake Forston. He was out on a sacrifice bunt in the first and was out third to first in the third inning. Throw to first, back safe with a head first slide.
I've already seen one pickoff today, and that was from the pitcher Schaenzer back in, I believe, the first inning, and that was a good throw by the catcher Kuster.
Fly ball, foul on the right field side. Forston stands with that open stance. I almost call it a foot in the bucket stance. It's a wide open stance, but just as the pitch is coming, then he pulls it back, and he's back in a normal approach for his swing.
Kind of a rare stance, but you'll run into it every once in a while.
Dick McAuliffe, the old third baseman for the Tigers, used to have it. He was a left-handed batter, and he would do it the same way. It was a wide open stance, and then, again, just as the pitch is delivered, he squares it back up again. The late, great Mel Ott was that way with his stance. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul back here to the screen.
There's not many, I don't think there's a single Tiger that does it, but if you follow baseball, a star for the Red Sox, Carl Crawford, has that huge, his front foot's almost, he's a left-handed batter, his front foot's almost out of the box.
A lot of players do it just to try to see the pitch better.
Also a timing mechanism.
Little roller hit to first base. Nick Deeg takes it unassisted.
Looks like Jordan Roback
Two
and
out.
Sean Martins are warming up in the bullpen for Clarkston. Nobody warming up in Lake Orion's bullpen right now.
Strike outside on the outside part to number 7, Dylan Peck. He was safe on a fielder's choice in the first and flew to center field in the 8th.
First time I heard this up at Eastern Michigan.
Strike 2.
BP, and we were in a tournament, and I just took a few of the boys over there to watch them. And we heard this song, and once we started listening to the words, you couldn't stop, you couldn't get out of your head. And then I started listening to the guy that sings it. His name's Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Ball outside.
Great musician.
Schaenzer's a little shaky in the first. He's settled down real well since then.
Kind of a storyteller.
It's been everything we've expected and more, with the exception of the first.
1-2 pitch way outside. Runner will take third. That's Laporte on third with 2 out. Two's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Clarkston has 2 runs on 2 hits.
As Vince Scully, the great announcer for the Dodgers, would say, deuce is wild.
There you go.
That's how you would say it, Custer. So it depends.
Ball outside, that fills it up. 3-2.
Starting to see Schaenzer start to throw more outside, and he's losing control a little bit. You wonder if he's starting to get a little tired.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. The threat is ended. Clarkston, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on base. We're through 4.5. Dragons up 6-2. We'll be right back.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you, and this is your community. You have a great idea, but how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
Back for the bottom of the 5th with the tunes of Snake Farm playing in the background.
Be sure on Tuesdays to tune into replays of your favorite games right here on ONTV. Tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup.
Boy!
Fly ball over the head of the left fielder. Custer on his way to second. He's got a stand-up double. He didn't waste any time. First pitch, and he laced it into left field.
He almost hit that over the fence. You wonder if there wasn't, we got a little bit of wind here today. You wonder if there was no wind, maybe that would have gone out of here.
I'm trying to see the flag on the football field, and it looks like it's blowing in from left field just a little bit. Ray thrown to Dalton Overson. Umpire calls time. Overson
At the
steps
plate for
out.
Lake Orion, number 11, Dalton Overson.
Overson's been out grounded to the second baseman, had a single in 2 trips. Pop up. Shortstop's calling for it, and he makes the catch, 1 down. That'll bring up Brad Schaenzer. He's flown to center field and had a single in 2 trips at the plate. Inside, ball 1.
Take a look at the scoreboard, and I see that 10 hits for the Dragons and only 2 for Clarkston. So there's a really big differential in the hit column.
Ray delivers outside, throw back to second base. Kuster's back.
What that shows you is when you only allowed 2 hits, it shows you that Schaenzer is really doing well on the mound and that Clarkston's been a little shaky, allowing 10.
Ball low, 3-0. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Ray into his windup. Ball low, he walked him. And Kuster goes to third as the ball gets past Peck. 2 runners on, 1 out.
Now batting for Lake Orion, number 20, Nolan Page.
And Dan Hunter comes in again to run for Schaenzer. Number 20, Nolan Page up.
Hunter almost seems like a specialist for running for the pitcher. We've seen him do it a couple times today as Schenzer's gotten on base.
He's popped out to the first baseman and had a single in 2 appearances. Ground ball, a little nubber foul. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. First baseman, Barta holding with the runner. Third baseman's off the bag.
Whoops.
Inside. 1-1 on Page. Josh Bays is on deck. No, Connor Grant's on deck. Ground ball through the hole. Through the hole.
Looked like for a second the second baseman was going to pick that up. It looked like it went into his glove, but then it just kind of trickled away from him.
Kuster scores. Runners on first and second. Connor Grant's had a single in 2 trips. He singled in the 3rd. Flew out to right field his last time up. 11 hits now for the Dragons to go along with 7 runs. Ray delivers low. Runners will advance.
Pass ball advances the runners, 2nd and 3rd.
Your pitcher at that, your pitcher's just got to take a deep breath and say, okay, let's get it back together again.
Or the coach will come out and do that for him, as it looks like.
That's exactly what's going to happen now. And, the coach is kind of taking his time going out there. He's going to give his bullpen a chance to warm up.
Looks like somebody's going to be coming in.
It's going to, Ray's coming out of the game. And we'll try to get a make on who's coming in. And it happens like that. The pitcher gets a little frustrated. He wants to overthrow, and just bad things happen. So coming into pitch is number 50, Donovan Zazula. He's the freshman. Right-handed pitcher. Looks like he works off the first base side of the rubber.
We saw him come in earlier. He pinch ran for their pitcher. I believe Peck was in at the time. But now he comes in as the pitcher.
Pretty big kid for a freshman. Looks like he's got some power to him. He'll face Connor Grant with two men on, one out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Donovan Zazula is the only freshman on either side today. So it's really impressive when you see a freshman come on just to make varsity alone,
Sure.
but then he comes on and it looks like he's a pretty good power pitcher.
Yeah, looking at his delivery, he's got some good arm motion. Of course, as a relief pitcher, the best thing to do is when you're warming up, put the first two over the catcher's head, then put one down in the dirt, so when a batter steps in, he has no idea what to expect.
Yeah, it's kind of an old school move. A lot of pitchers used to do that.
Ryan Duran used to pitch for the Yankees, would do that. He wore thick Coke bottle glasses in the first two. He'd put up in the first row of the stands.
It's just the intimidation factor. You
So
don't want
Connor-
that comfortable batter.
Connor Grant steps in, 2 men on, 1 man out, runners on second and third. Ball low and away.
2 runners in scoring position for Grant.
Dragons got 1 in this inning. Clarkston got their runs in the first and the fourth. Ground ball, second baseman, and he drops it. Picks it up, throws to first, and got him. Gets a run in.
So now the Dragons lead 8-2, and they're starting to pull away in this one here in the bottom of the fifth.
The second baseman, Sean Martin, made that play harder than it could have been because it looks like he just picked up at the end of it, and the ball came out of his glove. He stayed with it, to his credit, and got to play at first.
Well, we've seen a couple of errors up the middle for Clarkston, both one by the shortstop and one by the second baseman just now, and you really got to have surefire defense up the middle. It's fairly crucial.
Jake Garner hasn't had an official at-bat today. He's had a sacrifice and scored a run and walked in 2 appearances. Ball in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Dragons have 2 runs in, lead 8-2. Strike called on the outside part of the plate. Ball low. The Dragons have had 1 walk today, and no Dragon batters have struck out as of yet. Through 5.
And that's what's really led to the 8 runs and 11 hits.
Sure.
If you put it in play,
Another ball low.
if you're able to put it in play, it could find a hole. You know, it can really raise your batting average individually if just don't strike out.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Dragons have 2 runs in. Zazula sets. Inside and walked him.
Gardner draws a walk.
So Jake Gardner again has not had an official at bat today. That brings up Nick Vogelmeyer with 2 down. Nick's had 2 hits in 3 appearances today. Single in the 3rd, single in the 4th. He's got one job, make contact. Put the ball in play.
Good things happen when Nick Vogelmeyer makes contact.
Went to check his swing, went too far. 1 strike.
Even if he puts it on the ground, there's no play that's routine when Nick Vogelmeyer's running down the line.
Ball inside. A curved ball that just kind of hung there. First baseman holding with the runner. Foul tip. Back here to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ryan Lambricht is on deck for the Dragons, barring an out.
Zazula checks the runner at first. And got him. Pitch at the knees. And right after I say the Dragons haven't had a strikeout today, Nick Vogelmeyer's called out on strike.
Naturally.
We've finished 5 here. Dragons lead 8-2. We'll be right back.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Video classes are now enrolling. Reserve your seat today. Learn the basics of studio and field production with hands-on ONTV staff of video professionals. We offer hands-on instruction in a fun atmosphere. Who knows, you could end up being part of our production crew here. Orion residents pay only $10. Call ONTV to find out more at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060, or visit our webpage at orionontv.org.
Brad Schaenzer comes out for the top of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch is just inside. So run the count to 1-1. A reminder that they only play 7 innings in high school baseball. And we're in the top of the 6th right now, so time's running out for Clarkston. Foul ball by Ray. So 1-2.
Ray 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and flew out to center field his last time up.
2-1 count. Or 2-2, excuse me. Inside and in the dirt. So it's a full count here to start the inning. The 3-2 pitch is a ground ball to the third baseman, and it pops up and pops right over his glove.
Yeah, just took a bad hop. He had the bead on it and was playing it to stay low and hit a pebble or a spike mark or something, just popped up over his glove. That's called an error on the third baseman.
So 1 on, and it'll bring up Slaughter.
Slaughter's 1 for 2, or 1 for 1. He had a single and an RBI in the first, walked in the 4th.
The 1-0 is low, so quickly 2-0 on Slaughter.
Brad Schaenzer didn't like that ball. He's asking the umpire for a new one.
Kuster's going to come out, and they're going to have a little chat on the mound.
Well, it happens sometimes. A pitcher gets a ball and the seams don't feel right. It feels too slippery or something. You just got to ask. Of course, in about 2 or 3 batters, the same ball's going to be back in play.
Maybe he'll like it that time.
It's just a psychological thing.
So the 2-0 pitch is a ground ball to the third baseman. He
that
picks
one.
it up, throws to second, throw to first, and he
got him.
Got him. So a quick double play makes quick work of a potential rally. And there are now 2 away for
Yeah, it looked like everybody was
Alex
starting
Peck.
to run off the
Alex Peck.
Field.
So a quick recovery by Brad Schaenzer. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-1.
Double plays the pitcher's best friend.
A true twin killing there. So a swing and a pop-up. Left fielder going back. He calls it and makes the catch, and that's going to end the top of the 6th. No runs for Clarkston. It is 8-2 in favor of Lake Orion. We'll be right back.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. That's DVD copies at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. We'll also remind you that replays of this game are shown on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. so you can catch all of the Dragon action from this game. We're back to Jack.
We're back here in the bottom of the 6th. A new pitcher for Clarkston. It's Sean Martins. He's a sophomore, right-handed batter. And that'll bring up Ryan Lambrecht for the Dragons. He's the second baseman. The first pitch, a swing and a ground ball to the second baseman. The throw to first is high, and one second baseman grounds out to the other.
Second baseman stayed with it real well that time. Lambrecht was 2 for 2. He had to sacrifice his last time out. So they finally got him out.
That'll bring up Nick Deeg, the first baseman for the Dragons.
Nick's 1 for 3 today, single in the third and 2 flyouts.
The windup in the pitch is way inside, backs him off a little bit, and it is 1-0. Swing and a line drive that's going to get through between the third baseman and shortstop for a single, and that'll be the second hit of the game for Nick Deeg.
Third.
He's
3 for 3 with a sacrifice, so he's been very productive in all his at-bats today.
So it'll bring up the catcher, Roman Kuster. Runner on first, 1 out. Kuster had a very long fly ball to left field in his last plate appearance that very nearly went over the fence. Settled for a double, though.
Second hit of the day, flew out to center field in the first.
0-1. The pitch is a curveball that is hit into the gap in left center. The center fielder is under it. He makes the catch. Deeg will retreat back to first, and there are 2 away.
Just a little too much air under it.
That'll bring up the senior, Dalton Ovison.
Dalton Ovison.
He's one of the 2 captains for Andy Schrammick's crew.
Dalton 1 for 3 today, single in the third.
Deeg still on first. Open stance. The pitch is inside. He thought about it, but wisely did not go. 1-0. Fly ball into center field. Coming in is the center fielder. He is under it. He calls for it, and he makes the catch, and that will end the 6th inning. At the end of 6 innings of play, it is 8-2 Lake Orion. We will be right back with varsity baseball coverage on Orion Neighborhood Television.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
In case you didn't know, ONTV has moved. We're up and running at our new location at 1349 Joslyn Road, just south of Clarkston Road. The new facility is up and running at 100%, and we encourage all of our viewers to stop over to see our new studio and editing space. We're open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. ONTV is your community television station. For more information about ONTV, call 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060 today.
We're back here in Lake Orion. It's do or die time here in the top of the 7th for Clarkston. They're down by 6. Brad Schaenzer going for the complete game. The first pitch is a ball just outside. 3 outs away are the Dragons from clinching the OAA Red Division title. The pitch is a called strike. It's 1-1. Sean Martins is the batter.
Sean's 1 for 2. Grounded out to first in the 2nd inning and had a single in the 4th.
There was a swing and a miss by Martins, and it got away from Kuster. Looks like it hit something and deflected towards the first base dugout.
Brad must have gotten that ball he didn't like too well in the last inning because he just gave it back to the umpire.
Doesn't look like they're going to make him. They're going to let him take it. The wind up in the pitch, and it is just outside. So run the count even to 2-2.
Curveball just didn't break enough in. Good location on it.
Just low. So run the count full. 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Dragons, and for Clarkston, it's 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. Ground ball to the second baseman. Lambrick picks it up, fires over to first, and there is 1 away.
Now for Clarkston, number 6, Kyle Savoy.
Good play by Lambrick, moving to his right. Stayed down on the ball. The ball stayed down for him. Easy play to first.
It'll bring up Kyle Savoy. The pitch. First pitch swinging. Swings right through it. And it's quickly 0-1. Inside. 1-1.
Alex's first time at bat in this game. You can tell he's got a clean uniform on. Good curveball.
Called strike, and 1-2. He's ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. So now there's 2 away, and the Dragons are just 1 out away from clinching the OAA Red Division title.
5th strikeout for Brad Schaenzer today.
So that'll bring up Laporte. First pitch. He takes it high. Swing and a pop-up. Center fielder is under it. He will make the catch, and just like that, not only do the Dragons win the game, but they have clinched first place in the OAA Red Division. Well, What do you think about this game?
Well, it shows, number one, that the Dragons are going to go they don't have to rely on their pitching. They'll go as far as their pitching takes them, but that doesn't have to be the only thing that the Dragons have to rely on. They put 12 hits on the board today. They scored 8 runs. They were very efficient when they did get hits, and Brad Schaenzer was just masterful after the first inning.
Yeah, he struggled in that first inning, but, you know, he came back, settled down in the second. We've seen him do that before. And what did he do? He just cruised his way through another 6 innings of baseball to throw a complete game.
Yeah.
Only 2 hits allowed and only allowed 2 runs.
3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and looking down my sheet, every Dragon had a hit today with the exception of Jake Garner, and he had 2 walks and a sacrifice. So again, yeah, the pitching's been great, and we'll see Nick Deeg will probably start the second game, but if you've got efficient hitting and good pitching, you're going to go far. It showed in winning a division championship, and it's also going to show when they start the playoffs in a couple weeks.
Okay, well, that's going to do it here for ONTV's coverage of varsity baseball. Once again, for my colleague Doug, the final score is 8-2 Lake Orion. Have a nice afternoon.